Hi, my name is Tracy Cohorst, and I'm giving my testimony. Been waiting to do this for a long time, and God finally showed me this morning this is the way I'm supposed to do it. I came from a very dysfunctional household. Drinking, drugs, women, man, you name it. And I'm not looking bad on my parents because they both changed before. My mom changed before she went to heaven, and my dad changed, at 50. And I have wonderful parents now. And I have a wonderful stepmom. And my mom is going to be with Jesus, which I get comfort in that. But I grew up in a tight-knit family in some ways, and in some ways it wasn't tight-knit. There was a lot of anger, violence. I suffered from PTSD for a while. It was bad. Well, I thought I got saved when I was probably around 13. I mean, as soon as I walked into that church and heard the name Jesus, it was like something just drew me to that name. And I made a choice to go ahead and live in the world because I wanted to see what was out there. Well, boy, did I see. I saw sin, and things I didn't want to see. I was in the Army, and when I went into the Army, I met a guy named Mark, and he gave me my son, Matthew. Mark said he was going to marry me and come back to Georgia and all this stuff, but guess what? He ended up being married. So I was there to raise my son with the help of my parents, and I guess I lived in their house around 6 months, and then I met a guy named Dean, who I would end up marrying and stay with him for 20 and a half years, which was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. Gave me my daughter, though, so I can't call it a mistake. He was just verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive, and I should have recognized that years and years ago, because every friend I had would tell me, not just one, but every friend I had would tell me. Well, so anyway, we rocked on in this turbulent marriage. I mean, screaming, hollering, cussing, you name it, it was done, right? My kids had to grow up that way. And if I cry, it's because I have remorse in that. I love my kids more than anything, and my grandbaby and Sydney. And I hate that any of them had to go through that stuff, because it wasn't right. It wasn't fair. They didn't have a normal childhood like I didn't have a normal childhood. But the good thing is that Jesus has forgiven me. He forgave me for everything, for the times I would steal things, for the times I would lie, for the times I would be disobedient to my parents, for the times that I don't think I ever denied God, but the times I would murder. Speaking murder, I would say it was on a hate basis. I never did actually physically murder somebody, but I did murder them because I hated them. I was jealous. I was envy. I had envy. I wanted what people had, and I didn't have, the love. Well, I stayed married to him for 20 and a half years. A couple of years before our divorce, I started having really bad pancreatic attacks. And come to find out, I had this thing called a pancreatic divisum, and at the same time they found my sarcoidosis in my lungs, which sarcoidosis is an autoimmune disease. It's an inflammation disease that produce these things called granulomas, and they float around your body, and they attach wherever they want to and do whatever damage they want to do. Currently, right now, I have it in my heart, my SA nodes, my spine, my back, my joints, my lungs. I have a port. It's on my liver and on my pancreas. Oh, and I have seizures, so I have neuro sarcoidosis too. But I will tell you this: God has gotten me through every single battle. Every single battle. I've overdosed 3 times. I've almost died of sepsis a couple times. I was addicted to pain medication. I'm not saying I don't ever have to take a pain pill, but now it's through the grace of God. I don't have to take them all the time. Just only when the pain is so unbearable. And those who live with pain will understand that. And right now, I'm just taking tramadol. I can take one every 6 hours as needed. And that's not a really strong narcotic. They just made it a narcotic, actually. And anyway, so I rocked on in this marriage that was, it was all to build my husband's career. First we moved to Ohio, and he got a job at Campbell Soup Company, only because I pushed him to go to the unemployment office because he was just going to sit around on the computer all the time. Then he got a job with a company called Food Brands of America. And then they flew him up to Poughkeepsie, New York for a job at IBM, but we decided not to take that job because it wouldn't have been we wouldn't have been able to pay our bills. But then he got a job in Louisville, Kentucky as a director of IT, and he started going back to school. And he would just leave me at home, go out to dinner with a bunch of the girls from school, wouldn't invite me. He was telling me he might divorce me, he might not divorce me. I mean, I didn't know where I couldn't understand where I stood. You know, I was trying to fix things, and I needed help. I needed help really bad. I can honestly say my kids were the only ones there to help me at that time, and my kids and Jesus and Peggy. If I hadn't had those people, I don't know what I would have done. But the thing is, what I want you to get from this video, it doesn't matter how far down you go in that pit, the slop, the prodigal daughter or the prodigal son, God can bring you back. And oh, what a journey it is back. I'm not saying I still don't have trials and tribulations, because they're going to always be here, because Satan hates us. He wants our life to be miserable. But I have the joy that comes in the morning. I have the joy that comes when I lay my head down on the pillow, and the peace. Because I know if I don't wake up in the morning, where I'll be in paradise with my loved ones, with Jesus, especially with Jesus. I had a dream one time, and I was running, and I fell at his feet. Oh, I hope that comes true, because I love him so much. And I know people might think I'm a Jesus freak, and if you want to call me that, that's okay. I don't care. I don't do everything right still. I still make mistakes. I still sin. I'm trying to get better at my sin and watch my sin and be cautious of my sin. But I still sin. Because there's so many sins, there's just no way nobody can not do a sin. That's why God brought Jesus into the world, because we cannot uphold the law. And, you know, for Catholics out there that think the law gets them into heaven, good works, that's not what gets you into heaven. It says in John, one must be born again. What's born again? A new creation, a new life, a new change of mindset. Throw out the laws and start living in a personal relationship with Christ. That is what it's all about. That's what being born again is. It's loving the Lord, asking him into your heart, living for him, daily prayer, meditation, all these things, Lord, is what helps me. Lord, I won't be at Easter for my Easter ceremony at church, but I am going to my dad's church. And then we're going on vacation, and I pray that goes well. And I hope this testimony helps someone. I'm sure I'll think of other things. Oh yeah, I had an encounter with an angel, but that's a whole nother story. And that's actually in my Facebook memories, so I know it happened. It was like 10 years ago. And I will tell you that at one time. I'm going to try to make a video every day to give parts of my testimony of what I'm going through. Today is not the best day. I have a stomach flu. I got it from my great-nephew's birthday party. But that's okay. It was worth going to the birthday party. I can't wait to see my son, my daughter, my grandbaby, Mimu and Pop Pop, which is the other grandparents, Wayne and Sydney. We're all going to go on vacation together for a while, and it's going to be fun. And it's the first vacation I've done since my mom passed. I mean, first Florida vacation, I should say. And please don't think bad of my mom and dad, because there's nothing to think bad of them. They were lost, just like I was lost. Okay, well, God bless, and I'll make another one here soon.